Hello everyone. In this video we will learn how to solve the quadratic exponential equation. What is a quadratic equation? The quadratic equation is the equation in a form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, right? Now how we are going to achieve that here? Okay, well, let's start. So first question, solve the following exponential equation. We'll start with the first part here. 2 to the power of 2x. Can I write it in a different way? Well, you know that it could be written as 2 to the power of 2 to the power of x, or 2 to the power of x to the power of 2, because 2 times x is 2x. Okay guys, that's a power of 4, something from algebra class. So 2 to the power of 2x can be written as 2 to the power of x all to the power of 2. This is going to be this is the one that we are going to use today, okay? So here we are going to use 2 to the power of x to the power of 2. Okay? Now, usually when we solve a quadratic exponential equation, we try to substitute u by something by u. So we'll use a substitution method. So u, what I'm going to choose, usually you can tell by looking at the middle term. U should be equal to that, whatever you have in the middle, which is 2 to the power of x. That's what we got here, right? So now I can say it's plus u minus 12. I need s also to be u. Now I know that this is, if this is u, then this is going to be u squared. So that's going to be u squared. Again, 2 to the power of 2x is basically 2 to the power of x all to the power of 2. That's u squared if I consider u equal to 2x. Now I can factor it. So it's going to be u plus 4, u minus 3 equal to 0. U equal negative 4 and u equal 3. Now, if you rush and say the solution set is negative 4 and 3, that's wrong. Why? Because I'm not asking you to find u. The question does not have u. You came up with u. You need to find x. So what we are going to do, we will return u into 2 to the power of x. Same here. Now how we are going to solve it? Take len for both sides. Len negative 4 is an error. You can try using the calculator. Here you take len for both sides. So now x len 2 equal len 3, and then you divide both sides by len 2. So x will be equal to len 3 over len 2. So you can say solution set len 3 over len 2, or you can find the answer in decimal by using the calculator. Now next, so we are doing the exact same thing, okay guys, exact same thing, in which I need to find x by using the substitution method. And again, as I told you, you look at the middle term, 2 to the power of x. You don't take the 3, okay? You take only whatever base and power you have in the middle. So u is equal to 2 to the power of x. I'm going to move the 10 because I have to make it equal to 0. So equal, this is going to be u squared. Remember, 2 to the power of x to the power of 2 is u squared, plus 3u minus 10 equal to 0, and then you factor. And then you solve. Now what is u? It's 2 to the power of x. Now again, anything 2 to the power of x or 3 to the power of x equal a negative number, right away you can say error. If you take len for both sides, you will get an error as well. Here, 2 to the power of x equal 2. Well, easy, you don't need even to take a len. You can take a len, but no need for that. because this is to the power of 1. You have the same bases, then x equal 1. So solution set equal 1. Okay, what about this one? Well, again, of course you can move the negative 2, but where is the base and power in the middle? This one here. So that's going to be my u. And then you try, so go ahead, u squared plus 7u plus 10 equal to 0, u plus 5, u plus 2 equal to 0, u equal negative 5, and u equal negative 2. Now, you need to return u into 5 to the power of x. Well, 5 to the power of x cannot be equal to negative number. These are both errors, and if you take len for both sides, you will get an error, and you will get an error here. So what is the solution set? It's phi, no solution. So we say solution set is phi. Now, this is a bit complicated here, but there is a trick. Remember, this is always going to be u. So at least you know. So easily I can tell here, minus 5u plus 1 equals 0. I need to find u here, u squared, my bad. So let's go to the side and try that. 4, 2x plus 1. We need to rewrite it, so we do have 4 to the power of x, to the power of 2x, because we need x squared, remember? Well, that's 4 to the power of 2x. So can I write it as 4 to the power of 2x multiply 4 to the power of 1? What about that? 4 to the power of 1. Okay, when we multiply and we have the same, when you have x to the power of a, multiply x to the power of b, x to the power of a plus b. So if I have 4 to the power of 2x, multiply 4 to the power of 1 equal 4 to the power of 2x plus 1. That's a rule. So now we are going to use this. So I could say it is basically okay, remove that. It's basically 4 to the power of 2x multiply 4 to the power of 1 minus 5, 4 to the power of x plus 1 equal to 0. And here, this is, when you have u, I will put 4 to the power of 1 first, 4u squared minus 5u plus 1 equals 0. Because usually we have the number before the variable. Now you can factor it, and that's going to be u minus 1 for u minus 1. U equal 1 or u equal 1/4. Now you return back 4 to the power of x equal 1, 4 to the power of x equal 1/4. You have so many ways of doing it, but you can use the len. I think it's the easiest way. So for the first part, you will say len 4 to the power of x equal len 1, x len 4 equal len 1, x equal len 1 over len 4, which is equal 0 because len 1 is 0. If you know len 1 is 0 from the beginning, then that's 0. Then you can say the second part, 4 to the power of x equal 1/4. I can do it without len here. That's going to be easy. I know that 1 over 4 is 4 to the power of negative 1. Okay, so x equal negative 1. If you don't know that, then you can use len. If you use len, then you are going to get x len 4 equal len 1/4. X equal len 1 over 4 over len 4. And that's basically same. Negative 1, you can use the calculator for that. Solution set is basically negative 1 and 0. Negative 1 and 0. Now, here. This question. Well, that's very similar to the question we have done before, in which I need to find the middle term. You cannot say, oh, u is 2 to the power of x plus 2. You cannot do that. It's very clear that 2 to the power of x plus 2 is basically came from 2 to the power of x multiply 2 to the power of 2. And 2 to the power of 2 is 4. So 2 to the power of x multiply 4, which is equal 4 multiply 2 to the power of x. Now this is going to be your u. So u is 2 to the power of x. And here we can say u squared. And now we know it's 4u, right? Plus 4u minus 12 equals 0. Okay, guys, that's the reason why it's 4u. Then you factor u plus 6, u minus 2 equal to 0, u equal negative 6, and u equal 2. Now, u is basically 2 to the power of x equal negative 6, and that's an error again. 2 to the power of x equal 2, that's 2 to the power of 1, so x equal 1. So again, solution set is 1. Now what about if you have e? Well, it's the same thing. The middle term is e to the power of x, that's going to be your u. So u equal e to the power of x. So I'm going to go here and say 2u squared, because e to the power of 2x is u squared, ex to the power of 2, plus 5u minus 3 equal to 0. And then you factor it, 2u minus 1, and u plus 3. So u equal 1/2, or u equal negative 3. Now, e to the power of x equal 1/2, or e to the power of x equal negative 3. Now again, this is an error, because it cannot be equal to negative number. So you take a len, so x len e equal len 1/2. We know len e is 1. We know that len e is 1, right? So x equal len 1/2, which is basically len 1/2. That's not a simplest form, because len 1/2, 1 over 2, can be written as len 2 to the power of negative 1. 1/2 is 2 to the power of negative 1, right? Can take a negative out, so it's going to be negative 1 len 2. That's basically negative len 2. So that's your solution, okay? So your solution set is basically negative len 2. Now again, len 1/2 is 2 to the power of negative 1, okay? Now what about this question here? Okay, what we are going to use for instead of u? This can decide 8 to the power of x, okay? But what about 64 to the power of x? I don't have 8. Well, remember, 64 is basically a squared, right? So 64 to the power of x is basically 8 to the power of 2 to the power of x. I can switch between 2 and x, so 8 to the power of x to the power of 2. So this is basically 8 to the power of x to the power of 2. Minus 5, 8 to the power of x, minus 14 equals 0. Now you can use u squared, minus 5u, now you return u into 8 to the power of x. Of course, that's an error. And finally here take len, x len 8 equal len 7. So x equal len 7 over len 8. So your solution, len 7 over len 8. Okay, that's your solution. Now in this question, what we are going to do basically, following the steps we have done before, 16 to the power of x is basically came from, because I do have 4 here, 4 to the power of 2 to the power of x. Or you can write it 4 to the power of x squared, which is 4 to the power of 2x, right? And it's all the same. So that's 16. So I can write 16 as 4 to the power of x to the power of 2 plus. Now, what about 4 to the power of x plus 1? Well, 4 to the power of x plus 1 is basically came from 4 to the power of x multiplied 4 to the power of 1. I can rearrange them, so it's going to be 4 to the power of 1 is 4, multiply 4 to the power of x. Then minus 3 equals 0. That's my quadratic equation. Now, let's take u equal 4 to the power of x. So now this is going to be u squared 4u minus 3 equal to 0. Now, if you try to factor it, this is not factorable, so you will use the calculator for that. U equal negative 2 plus square root of 7, or u equal negative 2 minus square root of 7. Now, you are going to have 4 to the power of x equal negative 2 plus square root of 7. 4 to the power of x equal negative 2 minus square root of 7. Take ln or log for both sides. This x will come out. And then divide by ln 4. So x will be equal to ln negative 2 plus square root of 7 over ln 4. If you use the calculator, that's like rounded to the nearest 3 decimal places will be negative 0.315. Now, about the other side, this is a error because it's negative, so no solution here. Okay, so my solution is going to be negative 0.315. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next video. Bye.